Let's see if anybody joins this bitch. But I had something on my spirit today. Something telling me that I need to talk about this. So I'm going to talk about it. And we're going to see what happens. Right? So I just did a live with Her Hustle, right? And we were talking about healing. We were talking about generational curses. We were talking about all of these things, right? And it's funny because one thing that keeps coming up time and time again, I have conversations with different people, is the pattern of the idea of how people don't know how to decipher energy, right? So I feel like it's such a big thing because I'm talking to her and I'm talking about these generational patterns and I'm talking about emotional self-awareness and things of that nature. But a lot of the times, the biggest key indicator that somebody has not fully worked on themselves is by the fact that they are so confused in how to decipher people and their energy. And a lot of the times what people don't understand is that you are what you attract. So sometimes the things that we see externally that are gravitating towards us are gravitating towards us because there is a part of us that is still attracting these things from other people, right? So what happens is when you're in a season of your life and you're starting to become aware to patterns and you're constantly seeing yourself attracting the same types of people, motherfucking narcissists, just whatever the fuck, because I hear that word thrown around so much. Oh, my ex was a narcissist. My ex was a narcissist. Da, 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 da. The reality is the common denominator is you. So, right, if you learn how to decipher energy, you do that innately from your own nature. When something and somebody don't align, you feel it. When you've done a certain amount of work on yourself and you understand who you are and your nature, nobody can maneuver around you in a way that you do not allow. Nobody can trigger parts of you that you have not healed. So if somebody gets around you and they have that negative energy and they're not feeding you the way that you know that they're supposed to be feeding you, chances are there is still something off within you. So you need to revert back into yourself and ask yourself the question of, why is it that I'm still attracting the same motherfuckers in different bodies? Because it's a pattern. You attracting the same motherfucker over and over and over and over and over. Now you done had 5 motherfucking exes who have all been narcissists. Y'all really got to be honest with yourselves, yo, because there's no way in hell you're going to sit here and do the work on yourself. I mean, the soul-wrenching, looking yourself in the fucking mirror and being honest about what the fuck you got going on inside of you, and you still attracting the same person. Ain't no way in hell. It don't work like that. When you've really sat with yourself and done the work and done the research and understand personality disorders, emotional management, how to heal yourself, how to understand and vet through different energy, and you really sit there and you do this work intentionally every day, and you have good intentions towards other people, it's literally impossible for you to continue to attract the same things over and over and over again. Because the reality is the common denominator is you. So why are you attracting these motherfuckers over and over and over and over and over again? Because it seems like it's a pattern with a lot of people. And I'll meet women, you know, and their whole, and it's like, the reality is your healing process is for you. It's not for your abuser. It's not for the people who did things for you. Because a lot of women, we start off in good places. There are people who are born good people. Like, genuinely, their character, their nature, their intentions, they're in a good place. They might not even have that many childhood traumas, might have been grown up, good people, whatever. The problem happens because you don't know how to decipher people. So because you don't take the time to get to know human nature and understand female nature and how the feminine energy in certain people operates, you don't sit there and take the time to learn male nature and understand how the masculine energy operates. Now you make poor decisions in people, and then you take them poor decisions in people and you apply it and generalize it, and you're picking up pattern-based issues, because now you're taking what you learn from this one set of people and you're applying it over here, and little do you know, you're not picking the right people from the right place in the fucking first place. You're not picking your friends from pure places with good intentions. You're not picking partners for the right reasons. You're not looking at another motherfucker and saying, I could offer you real, genuine love, but you're expecting these things in return. So when you continue to attract the wrong things, you want to blame men, or men want to blame women, but your intentions aren't in the right place to begin with. Because when you were out here in the world saying that you're dating, saying that you're looking for love, you really weren't looking for love. You were looking for security. You were looking for the wrong things. So then that's what happens. A lot of women and men alike, men will look for women for the wrong things and the wrong reasons. Women will look at men for the wrong things and the wrong reasons. And then wonder why they get stuck in the same cycles with the same types of people over and over and over and over and over and over again. It's because you haven't done the work on yourself. So because you haven't really innately done the work on yourself, you will continue to attract these types of people in friendships, in business, and partners, and nothing will change. Nothing will change until you change. So unless you take the time to really work on yourself and be reflective and be accountable and understand that you're attracting these things based on what it is that you're putting out, nothing is ever going to change. Because that's the reality. We're put here with a certain nature. There are good people and there are bad people. That's just the way the world is. That's just the way the world works. It's reality. It's not pretty. It's not fair. Don't nobody give a fuck about nobody's feelings. Because this is the world that we live in, and this is the real shit. If you don't learn how to manage yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and financially, nobody will do it for you. Nobody's going to do it for you. Nobody's going to come and save you. So there's no excuse to exhibit certain patterns and behaviors based on what other people have done to you. Because the only victim is you, because you wind up playing yourself, making the same mistakes over and over and over again, because you didn't actually sit there and take the time to digest the lessons that you were getting in these different seasons of your life. Take that little bit. Feel free, show up. Don't be stupid. I need to be corrected. Well, that's a part of energy and deciphering people's intentions, because that's what it really comes down to. When you're out here and you're in the world, especially if you don't have a lot of guidance, and if you don't have a spiritual core, and you don't have anything or higher powers to call on, you're innately trusting your own intuition to drive you through the world. That's why I always tell people, for me and my journey and my experience on a personal level, for my self has always been God. Like, he's the core of everything for me. That's just me though. That's just my personal experience. But at the end of the day, energy don't lie. Men lie, women lie. Energy don't lie. It don't lie. So if you are attracting the same people in different bodies, it doesn't matter. Like, a person can manipulate through action too. So there's people who use words. There's people who use actions. They get to know you, especially people who have personality disorders, people who are narcissists, whatever it is. The goal is to get to understand people's intentions and their energy. It starts with self, because you are what you attract innately, period. You are what you attract. So that's one. So if you're attracting these same types of people over and over again, I just said this 50 times, but people are coming in and out their lives, so I'm going to say this again. You have to sit with yourself. You are the common denominator in these scenarios. Why are you picking these people, same people in different bodies? Internal work that you have not done, because you're continuing to attract the same energy in different bodies. So until you sit there and do the work on yourself, you will continue to attract that same energy in different bodies. But then I'm going to digress, because this is what happens. A lot of people, we are born with a good spirit, good energy, just good people. It's good people in this world, it's bad people in this world. We get older, we make poor decisions, and the people we keep in our environment, in our space, and around us, and allow to share our energy with, right? So now you generalize people based on the experiences you had with other people. So you associate and you generalize these. That's why there'll be motherfuckers, oh, he a Libra. I can't stand Libras. I fucking hate Libras. They're horrible people. You dealt with one Libra, now you hate every Libra. Everybody born in September could go to hell. Tell me how that makes sense. You have to get to know people. If you are a woman and you are dating, your whole intentions should be to get to know different. This is what men do. Like when men meet women, they put y'all motherfuckers in 2 boxes. You're either potential wife or you the fun girl. 2 boxes. They can vibe with y'all the same. They can fuck with y'all the same. Innately, y'all go into 2 boxes. Because a lot of the trauma that women carry into their 20s and 30s are based on the people who they dated in their teen years and their early 20s. This is statistically proven. So, then it becomes a mixture of childhood trauma with adolescent trauma. And then it just snowballs into some whole other shit. So this is what they do. They put us in 2 boxes. You either potential wife or you're the fun girl. Because they'll fuck you, they'll vibe with you, but they won't ever let you know that you're not in this box. They really don't got good intentions for you. They might pump and dump. They might fuck you a couple times. They might even keep you around for a year or 2. But that's going to be it. Because once they find their actual wife, you out of there. That's just how it is. This is how the game go. You have to get to know men and understand how they operate and how their masculine energy works. If you have the intentions of dating somebody seriously, you need to get to know. This is what men do. They sit with themselves for a period of time and they get to know women. They understand different categories of women. They understand different types of women. They understand women with certain patterns. You are either innately a wife material, traditional, wholesome woman. You might be somewhere in the middle, like she alright, but I want to really put her over here. Or they don't fuck with you for real, but they'll still fuck you because this is how their energy and their nature works. They're men. Like, this is just what the fuck it is. So you gotta take the time to actually sit there and understand them, how they maneuver, how they operate, how their minds work, how they, make decisions, how they're more logical, how their energy is, all that shit. You gotta take the time and actually understand that. That's why I feel like a lot of women don't have the mental, especially emotional maturity to really take on intentional dating. Because if you don't know yourself, if you're not in a space to where you're secure as a woman, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially, you should not be dating anyway. Because you're not mentally prepared for what comes with dating intentionally. Because that means you need to make space for another person. You need to make a safe space for another person. How can you be somebody's safe space when you haven't done the work on self? You haven't worked on yourself to get yourself to a level where you can be a safe, peaceful space within yourself, yet alone for another person. But this is what happens. Women will come out here and they'll date people and they'll generalize men based on the poor decisions that they made. And men do the same shit. And it's roles reversed. But the difference between men and women, I do think that men will take the time to get to know different types of women. Like a man will sit here, and like I was saying earlier, they'll put these different boxes together. Like, this is this type of woman, this is this type of woman, this is this type of woman. I'm going to put her here. I'm going to rotate her through this. This person goes here. All right, this is the main one. She priority. Because they get to understand different types of women. A lot of women don't sit here and take the time to actually get to know men. And that's where they fuck up. Because you could be a good person. You can have a pure spirit. You can have even some good intentions. But if you don't take the time at your peak to really sit there and understand masculine energy, understand how men think and maneuver and their ways and their intentions and things of that nature, you gonna be fucked up out here. Now you done picked up a bunch of bodies, trauma, made poor decisions with men, don't know what the fuck you doing, out here getting hurt. Now it's a snowball effect. It's a snowball effect. Because then it goes from potential childhood traumas to adolescent traumas based on poor decisions that you made, but you're going to point the finger at men because of the poor decisions that you innately made. And then it just goes and it spirals off into the fucking abyss. And then you 45 with a dog, single, by yourself, and you alone because you never took the time to actually sit there and get to genuinely know men, different types of men. But that's the difference. Like, I do feel like men will get to know different types of women before women get to know different types of men. And that's where the problem comes in. You can't sit here and generalize people. You can't sit here and say that this niggas ain't shit, bitches ain't shit, whatever the hell. But you ain't take the time to work on self And you ain't take the time to actually get to know human nature, not even just men or women, but human nature, how the female energy tends to maneuver and operate, or the feminine energy, how the masculine energy tends to maneuver and operate. You ain't take that time. You didn't do the research. You didn't read the books. You didn't get the understanding. You didn't sit back and stop talking and start observing motherfuckers and how they maneuver and how their body language gives off and how their energy feels. Because different people have different energy. You can literally feel it. It's innate. You can feel it. Motherfucker can't fake their energy. Because you ever been around somebody and it's like, you don't know what it is. They could be a stand-up person in society. Like, they could be very successful, wealthy, well put together. But you just look at them and you just look in their eye. And they got this look in their eye. And you just like, I don't know what it is. But this motherfucker, something feel off. That energy that you feeling is probably telling you the truth. But if you don't sit there and get to understand body language and how people speak and how they treat people when they have certain things wrong with them, know what their demons are doing behind their eyes and like feel it and look in another person's eye and be able to see what's probably going on inside of there. That's a skill. It comes from a lot of understanding, research, reading, paying attention, observing, being around different people intentionally, walking yourself in rooms intentionally, and it takes time and it takes energy. But I think that's one of the biggest things that people could do for themselves as the social creatures that we are, is to get to know human nature. And there's a lot of people that you could literally put into different boxes as a whole. Not even just, this could be even not even just dating. It could be for friendships. It could be for business. These people go over here. These people go over here. These people go over here. That's why for me personally, I don't have a circle. I have a dot. Because as soon as I see certain character flaws, I can't do it. And there's a difference between a person who has good intentions, who has a good character, but they have flaws, character flaws. Those character flaws with the right energy and the right intentions and a genuinely good person, they can be worked through. But the difference is you have to actually sit there with yourself and consistently do the work. You can't just sit here and say, okay, I'm a good person. I have a good nature. I have a good spirit. I picked up these negative patterns from my parents or whatever the fuck the case may be. But I'm going to just show up and expect for something to change. No, you have to actually do the work. It takes a lot of work and energy to actually sit with yourself and be like, damn, I have these patterns that I need to fix. How can I fix these bitches? Okay, I have to become more self-aware. How do I become more self-aware? I have to develop the skill sets and the tools to sitting there with my own mind and intentionally reprogramming myself. It takes a lot of energy and it takes time and consistency and discipline and understanding and good intentions. But a motherfucker can lie. They can say they're doing things. They can try to make it seem like they are. But your reality as a whole, because your mind will literally bend the world around you. So when somebody has good intentions and they're genuinely showing up and they're doing the work, like real life, like internal, deep levels that a motherfucker can't even see unless you were to openly express them. They cannot lie. Like your actions, your energy don't lie. You see your intentions in the world around you. When you have good intentions and you have a good energy to yourself, it starts to manifest physically. You start to see these people around certain people. You start to see these people in certain environments. You start to see these people achieving the things that they said they would because their mind is literally bending the world around them. You can't fake that shit. I always say, niggas lie, bitches lie. But two things don't never lie. And that's energy and numbers. Patterns. Information, facts. Energy and numbers, they can't really be manipulated. So if you're sitting here with yourself and you're trying to get to understand what is going on, why am I attracting the same people over and over again? I'm sitting here, I'm trying to do the work on myself, I'm trying to show up, I'm trying to change, I'm trying to do this, but I'm still attracting these things and these people. There's something in you have not reached yet. You got to keep doing the work. But everything comes in patterns. Everything comes in patterns. So this when you got to get real with yourself and sit with yourself and really look inside, because this is the hard part. It's really hard for people to sit there and just be real with themselves, because it can hurt, especially for women. It can hurt. Like, dealing with your traumas, dealing with your past, dealing with whatever decisions you made, you gotta sit in that bitch until it's so fucking uncomfortable that you can't do nothing but move. You can't do nothing but move. Hey. And that's the whole thing. This is like the biggest key that I've picked up on. I'm gonna just recap and then I'm gonna get off of here because I've been on this bitch for a while. So it was funny. I was having a conversation with the live that I do with Ashley, right? And we were talking about healing and generational curses and, getting right with yourself. And I was telling her, I was like, everybody has a nature. I'm antisocial. I only socialize on the internet. I mean, that doesn't have to be a bad thing. Antisocial behavior can be you selectively de-socializing yourself. So you can be being very selective, or you can be like purposely separating yourself because you're scared of like other people hurting you. So sometimes there could be a trauma there, like something that happened when you were real young. But that's the thing. You're trying to protect yourself. You're learning a mechanism to where it helps you to protect yourself. And the thing is, like, we're social creatures. You don't need friends, but it's good to have at least one or two solid people in your, like, a group of masculine men who, like, really genuinely care for you and fuck with you, like, on a deep level, like, mentally, or, like, a good woman in your corner that, like, really cares about you on a mental, emotional level. Because a real woman, a good woman, that's the way that she truly can, that's, like, the real value that people can bring other people to me. It's not material necessarily. It's not. It's pure energy. It's like the people you come around and they make you feel good. Like you walk into that room and then their eyes lit up when you come in. Those are the people you need to be around. You don't need to be around nobody's fuck else. Like I'm a very like antisocial person myself. If I feel like motherfucker energy not right, their character not right, and they not even trying to show up for themselves, nip that shit right in the bud. I don't got time for none of that. I'm cool. Like, you don't need nobody. You know what I'm saying? I think it's just, but it becomes, because socially, like, we're social creatures. So I do feel like everybody needs some form of, like, intimacy in their lives. Everybody needs, to a certain extent, other people, because that's how our nature works. You know what I mean? So you just got to be real careful with that, because you don't want to, like, overly, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, separate yourself, but you also got to protect yourself. So it's taking what your intuition is telling you and feeding off of that energy. If that motherfucker not giving you that energy, then that's your spirit telling you innately that there's something wrong with this motherfucker. Like, listen to it. And it's hard to find good people, but there's a difference between a person with good intentions who really will care for you and love you, and a motherfucker that's just trying to manipulate you or take advantage of you. And you'll see it in their actions. Because people will make mistakes, people will have traumas, things they have to work through, but they'll make the effort to actually consistently be disciplined enough to show up every fucking day. And to actually put the work in that takes to be what it is that they say they want to be. And your actions and your intentions have to align. And if they really truly align, you'll start to see it around these people. But it takes time and it takes energy and it takes somebody with really good intentions to genuinely sit there and show up every day. No excuses, consistent discipline. All right, peace. But yeah, I'm gonna just wrap it up. I'm gonna summarize what I said. Cause I was trying to do that and then I got sidetracked. But like I was saying, I was on a live with Ash and we were talking about healing and generational curses and patterns and all these things. I feel like every woman deserves to revert back to her best self, which was her nature. Who you were as a child before the trauma. Who you were as a child before the poor decisions. Who you were as a child before the world got a hold of you. Because I feel like that God calls us to be like children. But the difference is as we develop mentally and we mature, we develop skill sets and tools that allow us to protect ourselves. So now our goal is to nurture ourselves and love ourselves in the way that we wish we had been as children. But to protect and preserve that part of ourselves because we deserve that. Women ain't supposed to be out here giving their energy to men. All the shit that we have going on today, we are destroying ourselves and we're destroying society with these complacent values. And a lot of times this is what happens, right? We get trauma in childhood, right? Then it transfers over into poor decisions in adolescence, early 20s, right? And these poor decisions, they snowball and they snowball and they snowball. And then you have deeply rooted internal conflicts and issues within yourself that you have to heal through and resolve through and really sit with yourself and look in the mirror and be honest with yourself. So then this is what happens. People start doing the work. They start showing up. But they're attracting the same motherfuckers over and over and over and over again. Sit here and talk to a lot of women, yo. And it's the same shit. My past 5 exes were fucking narcissists. Bitch, how you was with 5 narcissists in a row? It's you. The common denominator is you. If you are consistently attracting these same people in different bodies, that means there is something inside of you that you have not done or worked on that is attracting these outcomes. That means your behavioral patterns, your thought patterns, your energy, your spirit, something needs to be worked on. But that was pretty much it. And that's real shit, because when you genuinely showing up and you're disciplined and you're developing your mind and you're reprogramming yourself, you will attract better people. You will attract different people because you innately are what you are. But yeah, I'm gonna get off of this, John. I hope y'all got a gem out of this, because the reality is, your reality is definitely molded by your thoughts and your patterns of behavior. If you change your thoughts and patterns of behaviors and begin to reprogram yourself, everything externally has no fucking choice but to conform to what it is that you're intentionally putting out. So if you think you have good intentions, but you're getting negative outcomes, maybe you need to sit and have a conversation with yourself, with your spirit, with your heart, with your ego, and put that bitch in check, because something is off. Alright, but y'all, I'm gonna get out of here. Peace. Alright.